You know, Adam, when God created Adam, he was also immaculate, wasn't he? He without sin.
Mm-hmm.
But how
Adam and Eve
come?
without sin, but we would just say that he was uh, different from the sense of saying like that Mary is immaculate. That Mary is the immaculate conception in the sense that she's created in the womb of her parents, or mom without sin. Adam was simply created without sin.
Without sin. But how come he had that weakness and Mary didn't have that weakness? There's something Mary especially got that Adam didn't get or something.
Well, that kind of depends who you talk to. Some people would say that with the Immaculate Conception, it was a special grace of impeccability. Not everyone would say this, but I would say that Our Lady not only didn't sin, but it simply could not sin.
Could not
Because
sin.
she was impeccable. And so she was made alike unto Christ in that sense.
Yeah.
Whereas Adam could sin or could not sin. Now, some people disagree with that and say, well, Mary wasn't free then. But my argument would simply be that true freedom is the freedom not to sin. True freedom is the freedom to always choose to do God's will.
To God's will.
And those, the freest people that we know are the saints in heaven. So they're absolutely free, but they absolutely are free not to sin. But Mary, we wouldn't say that Mary had the beatific vision while she was on earth. But she had a special grace that was sort of similar to that, where she wouldn't be able to sin. Others would say, well, no, she could have sinned, but she simply always chose to do the right thing and always choose to follow God's will. Which is fine to say that too. Why did Adam sin? I mean, there's lots of different reasons. Basically, we're all tested. We're all tempted. You know, Jesus was tempted, and so was Mary.
Yeah.
They experience temptations in a different way than we do. For us, because original sin, and we're already starting with like, you know, a broken set, so to speak, our temptations are from our own human weaknesses. From them, the enemy can only sort of tempt them from outside things. And they would have been tempted in the way that a good religious is tempted, and that is, you're tempted to do good things. So, for instance, for instance, a religious community might start out with the rule of poverty, and it would just say, we're never going to use money. That's what my community is. And so we'd have a bank account or something like that. And then later on, something happens where, let me say a better example of something like, the community decides they're always going to do chores. And so the community decides that, you know, as long as we're in existence, there's always going to be, this brother's going to be the cook, that one's going to do the laundry, he's going to clean the bathrooms, he's going to do the yard work and stuff like that. And we're never going to hire someone to do our jobs for us. And so that we always want to do some type of manual labor, even though we're also priests and we go out preaching and stuff like that. Well, lo and behold, something's going to happen in the future where this community is going to be challenged, and Mrs. McGillicuddy over here, her husband's going to die after only like 10 years of marriage. She has 5 kids, and she doesn't have a job. And so someone in the community is going to go, we have to help out Mrs. McGillicuddy. Let's hire her to be a cook or to clean. No, we cook and clean ourselves. But see, it's charity to help her out because she doesn't have a job, she can't find one, she's got 5 kids to feed. And so the community is going to capitulate for the sake of the good, which is really temptation, to help out Mrs. McGillicuddy, and they're going to hire her to be the cook and do cleaning. And that frees them to get more time to do apostolate. Well, what happens when Mrs. McGillicuddy dies? Everyone then they're not going to go back to say, oh, it's time to cook and clean again. They're just going to hire a new cook and cleaner in the house, you see. So, and that's how the enemy tempts religious communities to become more lax. And so that's how, in that sense, I mean, some of the temptations of Jesus weren't like that, but certainly the one that said, like, turn these stones into bread, meaning give yourself nourishment. You did a good job. Yeah, 2 thumbs up, Jesus. 40 days without eating bread. That's fine. You proved yourself. Just, take some nourishment now before you collapse or something. So it's kind of under the aspect of good because you don't want to harm your body. Or the one where Xanadu takes you to the top of the pinnacle, throw yourself down. So because I want what you want. I want you to manifest yourself. I want you to do God's will. If you do, everyone's going to believe you. That's what the Father wants, right? The Father wants everyone to believe that you're the Messiah. And if they all come, because an angel's going to catch you when you throw yourself down, and they'll see this, and they'll do this great miracle, and it'll just be easy. You have to go through all these things. You have to deal with human weakness, of people not understanding or misunderstanding when trying to explain something, all these parables and things like that. Just work a really great miracle, people will believe you, and they'll just follow you. It's easier that way. And so it's a temptation to sort of do some good, but that's not in accordance with God's will. So there's lots of ways that people can be tempted outside of human weakness. So the question here would be obedience. All Adam had to do was simply not eat a certain fruit. It was like a negative command. You couldn't even do that, but anyway.